What is up, beautiful souls? Today I want to talk about maybe one of the most heart-wrenching parts of our healing, and that is when we find ourselves in solitude, when we find ourselves in the dark, in the shadows, in the fire, in the eye of the storm, the pain, the full circumference of trying to understand, to gain perspective, and to gain our own bearings. Feeling like nobody can actually conceive the pain that you may be feeling. I want to begin by saying healing alone isn't for the faint of heart. It's not. It's for the strong. And if you were brought to this video, if you were drawn to this video, whether it was the title or a thumbnail, or you were just guided, it's not a coincidence. Today, I want to highlight things that you may not see, but you're training, if you will. And that is the gift that not only are you going to give yourself, but those on all of us one day. And even though it doesn't happen overnight, it is a blessing that is guaranteed should you see it to the end. I want to welcome you back to Crystal Clear. Here on this podcast, we speak all things spiritual. In the midst of the duality, the heartache, the suffering, the betrayal, the dark nights, this is what we signed up for. This is a reminder for you that everything is spiritual, and it's in this contrast, in this matrix, that our soul extension is ricocheting. The pain that you feel is temporary, though it's very real. I want to clarify as we begin, community, soul tribe, spiritual mentors, a trusted friend is essential in your journey. To have somebody you can lean on, to trust, to just sometimes articulate, to express, to unwind the wires and the chaos is important. And I hope you have that community. If not, you can reach out to me. I am here as your spiritual mentor to help you the best I can. But even with all that being said, the truth is, even with my clients, I can't do the work. The work is always within. The answers, the clarity, the epiphanies are already encoded into your DNA. It's the contrast of being able to unravel those questions, understanding why the betrayal, whatever devastation, whatever has led you to this dark night, the solitude, is here to show you, to highlight essences of you that you have yet to see. In the fire, call it the dark night, call it the eye of the storm, waiting for you to rise like the phoenix, right? Or bloom through the mud like the lotus. The transformation, when you're in the cocoon, like the butterfly, you have a moment of this pure murkiness that you begin to question why you have lived your life the way you have up to this date. And the power of being able to surrender. It's in solitude, my loves, that you really begin to ask the questions of why you tolerate the things you have, how you've played a role up into where you are right now. Taking self-accountability because you don't want to hurt this way ever again. And opportunities to fill into your true intentions. I'm going to give you a quick example and how this may play out. For myself, I too went through it. I too questioned everything. And then there would be moments that I would reflect on the world and my soul brother and sisters and realizing that the pain is real. And what people like me, like you, like the universal language of pain, the heartache, is shared amongst all of us. And I remember a time in particular, I remember the tears coming down when I had this full epiphany. Different stories, different scenarios, different situations, universal language. And then a reflection of why am I crying? You'll have these moments. What I'm trying to say is you get these moments where you're one-on-one with yourself and you're one-on-one with your true emotions. And then you realize it's not a performance. Whatever it is you're feeling, whatever surfaces, is an opportunity to really reflect, to see who you are, to understand your motives, and also the opportunity to self-correct. There is power in surrendering to the pain. There is power in asking the right questions. There is power in being patient and learning to be patient, because the answers, when you seek with all your heart, will be revealed. And as you begin to understand as the creator, as your higher self, as everything, as the layers of the onion will begin to be pulled back, because God knows that whatever happened to begin your process is only the knock on the door, because that's when our inner child work really begins. The core wounds, our subconscious, our programming begins to be revealed. It's also when we begin to understand, when we begin to show up for ourselves for the first time. It is when we begin to raise our own standards, promise our inner child, ourselves, that we will never abandon ourselves again. And in order to do that, we raise our own standards. And we show up to those standards every day for ourselves. Wholeness stops settling. When you need nothing externally, the tolerance shifts. You choose peace over chaos. You no longer are looking outside of yourself for validation, because you see and witness yourself. You no longer censor yourself in fear of losing somebody, because guess what? When you're done with this, you've made it to the end. You've done it in hermit mode, and you've survived. It is the embodiment of your light, which is, at the end of the day, the gift. And that gift I was talking about is the authenticity of that of who you are. And when you radiate at the authentic level, my loves, you are radiating the light, the love, and the truth that you are. It is the power, the confidence, the assurance, and the magnitude of love that shows up and says, this is who I am. This is what I stand for. These are my standards. And I love you enough to be vulnerable, show up in transparency for you to choose. And there's nothing quite more powerful and speaks of radiant love as integrity. It says, I love you. This is my light. And I love you enough to honor whatever you choose, whether it is to be associated with me or not. But I will never lower my standards again. I will never tolerate shitty behavior in fear of abandonment. I'm okay because I am whole. And I'll tell you a little secret, my loves. You're never alone. Spirit, guides, your ancestors are walking you right through this fire, through your transformation, holding your hand. All you have to do when you're feeling really, really lonely is ask for help. When you clear the distractions, you'll feel them. Maybe subtly, but I promise you, they're there. So let me just end with this as I bring this full circumference. It's all about the integrity, the light that you come. Truth is love, and everything you have ever sought was always within. But you don't know that if you're in the eye of the storm. So I hope that this video can keep you grounded, remind you, hold on, and know that there's power. There's lessons in the awakening. And whether you resonate with rising from the phoenix, the cocoon of the butterfly, the beautiful wings that get to expand, or the lotus that blooms from the mud, or even that to the dragonfly, whatever resonates for you, it is you who's doing the transformation. It is you who is going to rise better than ever before and more beautiful and radiant with the love that this world so desperately needs and is seeking. I believe in you. Hold strong. Trust the process. If you need help, reach out. But know ultimately, you're the one that has to do the work. It is on you because you can do it. You're strong enough, and you already knew that before you came, and I believe that full-heartedly. If this has resonated, if you know somebody that's going through it, and you're trying to understand, share it with somebody that might need the message. Please rate, review, leave a comment, subscribe, and make sure you hit the alert button so you don't miss another episode. Know that I love you. Know that I'm sending my love and light, and beautiful things are on this way. You haven't seen anything yet. Sending so much love. Until next time. Namaste.